Hello and welcome to today's video. Today, the next in my Diamine ink series for this month. If you're not watching this during August 2022, just check out my channel. This month I've focused on Diamine ink reviews, and today is no different. Today we are looking at this, which is Diamine Blue Black. It's a nice blue leaning blue black, certainly not on the black end or the grey or the green end. It's definitely very much in the blue portion of blue black inks. So we're going to look at this on a range of different kinds of paper, a bit of a chat about it, and then, yeah, let's get cracking. So first up here, I have it on Tomoe River paper. This is 68 GSM Tomoe River, beautiful paper. This is the classic old stock that we know and love. I had it in two pens, the TWSBI Go Broad and the TWSBI Go Extra Fine. You can see here also on the Tomoe River paper, it leans very, very blue. I don't mind that. I prefer a blue-black that leans blue than any other color. For my taste, maybe just a little bit too blue in this case. Let's talk about this ink, the 5 points. As per usual, the first few are the same. Made in Liverpool, England. This company has a history going back to 1864, producing beautiful high-quality inks and stationery products, that kind of stuff. I've also said it is safe. Diamine inks are safe for fountain pens. They are safe for all kinds of fountain pens. They have a history of, working out the kinks and all that kind of stuff. And so if you're using even vintage pens, Diamine is a brand you should definitely check out. The next point here is that this is the standard blue black. This is not the 1864 blue black or any of the special edition registrars blue black or anything like that. This is the standard blue black ink. I've also said here, this is not a permanent or iron gall blue black. So as you can see, even just here on the water test, it moves around a lot. This was done with a water brush pen. It isn't permanent, it's just the color blue black. So it doesn't also go through that change that an iron gall ink goes from being blue and drying black, hence why they're called blue black, or blacker more to the point, as the iron, oxidizes and stuff in the ink, it got darker. This just sort of dries the color it is. So let's talk about the performance. Good dry time. So here is the 2 and the 20-second swipes. The 20-second was almost dry, which for a lot of Diamine inks is about normal, but perhaps slightly on the good side. I said it's got good saturation and nice flow. It's not a super wet ink, but it does have a nice flow on the page. Diamine inks do write very, very well. Performance, as you would expect from Diamine, as I said, it's good on lower end paper, but does have sort of low water resistance. The ink does move around a lot. You can keep some of the detail, but it moves around a lot. You can do a lot of damage with water. Okay, extras, some shade, little sheen, no shimmer, and low water resistance. Let's talk about the performance now. Let's look at it on this paper. So here on Tomoe River, if we look up close, you can see it looks very, very nice. It keeps tight lines, as you would expect on this paper also. And of course, nothing comes through. Tomoe River is incredibly ink resistant and fountain pen friendly paper. So this is what you would expect on this paper. Let's go down to the lower end and work our way back up. So here is student notepad paper. This is a lecture pad from Spyrex. So super low weave, really inexpensive paper. You can see there's a bit of feathering, but it's not too bad really, I think. I've certainly seen a lot worse. As you can actually see, it actually wrote fairly wet here, but this paper is very absorbent, which is why the ink does sort of come through to the other side. This is not fountain pen friendly paper, but this is what you can expect if you were writing with either an extra fine or a broad nib on this paper. Next is the standard 80 GSM copy paper from Reflex. Reflex. Once again, a little bit of feathering. The color is more muted and more even. As it absorbs very quickly into this paper. Once again, not fountain pen friendly paper. And there is bleed. Certainly not the worst I've seen, but pretty standard, I think, from Diamine. Now we have Rhodia here. Rhodia is like the standard for fountain pen ink. You can see it moved around a lot with that water brush pen there. Sort of, a little bit of sheen actually showing, which is kind of okay. I don't mind that. But nice tight lines. It looks good. The color is nice and rich and dark. And if we look at the reverse of this page, you can see nothing has come through, not even the swab. So it's performing very, very well on Rhodia here. If we look at the chromatography, you can see the majority of this ink, that rich dark blue, sort of stays there. and it moves up through to the lighter blue, and you can kind of see that in the water resistance test there. A lot of that sort of rich, darker blue, that grey blue, is held behind, and the lighter blues sort of moves around and sort of gets separated out. Let's do colour comparison now. So there is Diamine Blue Black, and as per usual, I've chosen a Robert Oster ink. Now, I didn't go Robert Oster Blue Black because I wanted to show a couple of variations on things. So I went Thunderstorm, which is another ink from his line that sort of tends to lean a little bit blue black. Thunderstorm is the sort of the greyer, purplier end of blue black and much darker. And then another Diamine, which leans in a similar kind of direction, is the 1864 Blue Black, which is part of the 150th anniversary set. You can see it's a lot darker. It's a much closer to what I consider a true blue black, as opposed to this sort of Diamine Blue Black, which tends to run the same as, say, Mysterious Blue from Waterman, or even things like the Parker Quink Blue Black and Pilot Blue Black, which tend to be a little bit lighter than some of these sort of darker blue blacks. So what does this ink cost? Well, as per usual, I've priced the 30 and the 80 ml bottles. You can also get this in cartridges from some sellers. In Australia, the 30 ml bottle retails at the lower point for $8.95 and the 80 ml for $19.95, so incredibly good value. The US price is $7.50 and $16.50 respectively, and then the pound price, which is from Colt Pens, which I think is probably where I buy my Diamine inks from personally. It is $2 or £2.45 and for the 30 ml and £6.25 for the 80 ml. So very, very good value. It puts it in an incredibly good price point within the market. So I have scored this ink 3.5 out of 5. It does everything it needs to. It's a nice color. It's got decent saturation, a little bit low water resistance. It's got good dry time, all of those kinds of things. And yeah, it does everything it needs to. There's no X factor in this ink. There's not sort of super sheener. It's not, got shimmer, or it's not a super high shader and things like that. So it's a good serviceable ink if you're after a blue black that is safe, that is comfortable, that isn't going to do any damage to pens like iron gall inks or anything like that. Although modern iron gall inks are a lot safer than vintage iron gall inks, this might be one to look at. So this was Diamine Blue Black. I hope you found this video interesting and useful. If you did, give it a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel. Hit the notifications button if you want to stay up to date with the videos that I produce, and please feel free to get in touch using any of the platforms listed below. You can find me on Instagram or Twitter at _offstage_me, or you can contact me on any of my videos here. If you've got products you think I should be looking at, or if there is a way you would like to support the channel by sponsoring a review or providing an item for review, I would love to hear from you. It's your support that makes this channel possible. In the meantime, and until my next Diamine review, enjoy your inks, and I'll talk to you soon.